Hello, welcome to another one of my videos. I've got something for you today. This is a bit of a zombie watch. It's come back from the dead. You can see there I've got the I've just bought the part, and these are all the there was all on a tray from when I stripped it down last year. It's got a cracking dial, as you can see there, and I'd get up hope. It's a 7S, nothing remarkable for what I've done, but I can't help but be amazed at the quality of the things. But I stripped it down, and I did film it a while ago, but that part was broken. There's two little jewels in there, two little crystals, and one of them was shattered. Couldn't see it, I saw it on the microscope. And I managed to get that part from Cousins UK, a big watch clock supplier in the UK. It was on back order, so I've had to wait quite a few months to get it. So I've re-erected it, and we're going to start putting it back together. I say that dial is quite nice. So I've made the call. I've got all the parts now. I've invested in a lot of kit in my watch room. Those fingers I've just shown you from Cousins again, and they're a large size. That's a blunt, rusty Stanley knife, which is always good for health and safety. What I'm doing, I'm cracking open the barrel to change the spring. But those cuffs have made a huge difference. They're comfortable. I couldn't wear the others from China. They were too tight. They were painful. But I'm not wearing them now because I'm pulling the watch apart. So I am going to carry on wearing them now because A, they're comfortable, and my nails look awful when they're under close scrutiny. They look bloody gross. So I should be wearing them all the time from now on. But I'm not wearing them at the moment because I'm pulling it apart. As you can see, the stated spring, it's got a bit of a kink there, and it doesn't lie flat. That's a big telltale sign. You can see it there. It's about 1 millimetre. And the barrel's not too bad. There's a bit of dirt in there. But I did buy a batch from a Chinese supplier of mainsprings. I think they weighed about £2.50 each. So I bought several, and I'm going to use them. What you've got to find out, what I'm doing here, is making sure I get the direction right. So I'm off to clean it in a minute. Boom, there you go. So this is it all clean. And that's a little bit of effect I put in there. So it's all gone through cleaner now. I'm starting to get back together. I'm just dabbing it with bits of grease. You're supposed to grease the wall of the barrel here. It's called braking grease. I'm not quite sure why. There's a lot of things I'm not quite sure of. They don't make sense to me. But as an engineer, they go against things. But there you go. I'll do as everybody does. A few dabs of grease. That's probably a bit of overkill actually, but you can see them scores on the lid, and that is drag. I read recently that most of your drag, your inefficiency in a drivetrain, it's about 80% comes from this area, the main barrel, and its output. So I'm giving that special attention, and you'll see what effect it has on the end figures at the end, because it's pretty good. The amplitude is pretty spectacular. So just getting that in here. It was a bit fiddly. I've had to edit it quite a lot because you just don't want to see me having different attempts. Basically, I need a plunger the same width as the spring, because if I push it down the middle would have gone into the barrel, but the ends would have stayed up. So I wanted something the same size. I ended up using one of my mainspring winders. I don't think I got that on film. I was trying to get it in there, but the barrel is only, I don't know, 2-3 millimeters high, the sidewalls. So it's not like a pocket watch where it just drops in. So over fiddly, really, but you know, on Seikos, the Seikos I've worked on so far, the spring looking at from the top goes anti-clockwise. Yeah, there's the spring there. Look, that is a winder and inserter. I just use the inserting end. And that did it. I should use that in the future. It's quite a nice job putting springs in. I think most people who do this enjoy it. So that's the spring. Not a lot there. And that runs a watch. Runs accurately with date and seconds and so on. Just from that little tiny thing. So putting it in, make sure it's lubed enough. And I also, part of my new kit, is this stand here. I've had it a while, but I saw a cheap one, and this is a two-way. You can put two different movements in this one, and I thought I'd give it a go. It sits lovely, but it's not tight. You do a way of just squeezing it up, but it's not bad for if you're doing vertical work and you want to come straight down from the top, which you do when you're putting the hands on. The balance wheel there, I installed it when I put it in the cleaning machine. As always with balance wheels, it's got a bit of a story to it, but a successful one this time. This is not very often I see that with balance wheels. But, and that's part of, again, all my new management kit. These are membrane boxes, and they store it securely and they don't move. As you know, I've damaged so many by just putting them aside, and then over a period of time they get knocked. And I can't stand it when the spring is not all sat squarely when it drops out of its pivot. So then memory box hold it very, very secure. I'm putting the ring box, the plastic ring on there now, because the last one I did, I built it up and didn't put the ring on, and I couldn't do it. I had to take it all apart again. It has no consequence to it when you put it on, so get it on early. And I'm going to try and use this stand. I say it does fit. It is nice, but it does. I wish there were a way you could just squeeze it, because it tightens it. It is quite loose. The temporary stem is a great idea. I bought a movement recently for that. The last watch I did, where I bought all new, and that was a packaging or temporary stem. It's perfect for doing this. So I'm keeping that. Doing the keyless works. It's fiddly on this one. You have to put that wheel in there, the drive wheel, the adjustment drive wheel. You have to push your stem through and hold the wheel in and sort of harpoon it as it goes in. And you either do it. I have done it where it's gone straight away, or you're fiddling. And this one was a fiddly. On the shot as well, on the left-hand side, you'll see one of my new screwdrivers. I bought some screwdrivers, new screwdrivers. I've even bought a new mat. I'm sure you saw on the older videos that I've damaged it, and it was all, I got some IPA stuff on it, and it all corroded. So I've had a full refurb in the watch room, some new tools, and I bought a new visor. It's great. It was expensive, but it's caused me a bit of problems with filming on two cameras, which I'll show you. I'll talk about later. I didn't quite get the two cameras in it. What it was, the magnification was a lot better. It was higher, and that pulled my head in more. So my head was in the camera and the overhead camera. What I needed to do is go for the same. I've got several lenses. I went to the similar one what I've got on my old cheap set, and I can keep my head at the camera. But I thought it was great because I had better magnification. But all I was putting my head down deeper, and so I'm in front of the camera. So it's good, but it's buggered. I've lost a few good shots. So you can see it's back of my head, but you'll see that shortly. Carrying on with the keyless works, I quite enjoy this bit. It's nice and mechanical. It's levers, pushing levers. You've got your set and lever holding the sliding pinion in, and I don't know why. It's just some jobs you enjoy. So a couple of tiny screws in it, but it's not. It's fiddly. The biggest problem I have with it is the last time I did this was a couple of months ago, and you just sort of spend a few minutes just working it out. But it's good when it's done. As it all is, I suppose. So putting it up. There's the headset. It's got a lot brighter light on. I don't have to have batteries. It's rechargeable. But I thought it was being good by having a stronger magnification. And certainly when I get into the deeper stuff on reassembly, you do see it back of my head. And I've had a new camera mount, and I've done lots of work. I've spent a few £100 in here. And tickling up, and it's better, but I just need, it just needs a bit of readjusting. You can see it's all in there. That's a setting lever. Again, Seiko, simple enough. It's just pressed in. When you move the stem, it's just a bit of pressure and it pulls out. I don't know what I was doing there. I lined the center wheel up, I took it out. I don't know why. I probably spotted something wrong, or quite often till you get it all screwed down and tight, that setting lever there that comes out the sliding wheel. Uh, so I'm not quite sure because again I'm doing this post assembly because by the time I've done editing, it just wouldn't work. So I've edited it to about I try to keep between half an hour and 40 minutes. It's on double speed as well, so obviously I've got to do a voiceover after. But I'm not bad. It used to bother me, but I don't care now, so it's fine. So carrying on, more work on that. Something's obviously gone wrong. Maybe the wheel came out. There's the chain of wheel, the drive of wheels waiting to go in on the right there, and it's all, as I say, it's all clean. It's just bits of lube, and I start assembling it. It's all very the 7S and the 7005. It's bread and butter to me almost, and I can say that without being too cocky, but it's not difficult. If everything goes okay. And said that, I did have a problem. I've never done a watch and entered an unexpected problem, but this was no exception. But it goes back okay. My next watch is it's a Seiko, and it's a bit different, but I'll show you that. But this is the beauty of Seikos. This watch, when I took it apart, I found I found a piece which was damaged, and a watch like this is I think it's 78, something like that. You need a new part, and a lot of them you just can't get the part. It's very difficult. With Seiko, it was just so easy. I went on Cousins. I've made an inquiry because they didn't have it in stock, and I only had to wait. But this is why I like Seikos, because as an amateur and a learner, there's no better. You can get the parts, so you don't lose heart. You ain't got a shelf full of old watches in bits, which I did with pocket watches. Sort of some of the old ones like 1920s, 1940s. If the part was damaged, or even worse, you lost it, which is you've got yourself to blame. It's a bit disheartening. But so the next Seiko is a different type of Seiko. It's a lot older. And I've just bought this morning. I've just won another Seiko. It's got all the high beat. It beats at twice the rate, and it's a very complicated watch. And I bought that. I bought it for a song, so that'll be fun when I get to that done. So all go. I've the bench and the watch room now is perfect. There's nothing I want. I've recently bought a new lathe, which I want to do a short video on. So it's all going well. So I'll just keep plodding on now and keep learning. See, I'm just getting all the training gear now, getting all the train together. This went on when I first did this, putting that top plate on, because all the wheels have got lined up, was a struggle, and you couldn't get the escapement wheel, kept falling out, and you wouldn't line up, or you'd tighten it up and you'd stress the pivots. I don't think I've ever snapped one. I'm not doing this one, but certainly a risk. But this, literally, I dropped it on perfect. Couldn't be more perfect. I'd literally got the tweezers and every pivot lined up. That's a very rare thing. So there's the back of my head, which you're going to see more. I try and edit it out, but it's dead annoying. I don't get it on the cheap headset, and I couldn't work out why. I thought it was my new camera mount, but it's just that I had a different magnification. I had a higher. Getting it in now. Pallet foot's going in. I had a bit of a problem with this. I thought it was okay. Timed it up to proper tight, and it wasn't lined up. And I thought, oh bugger, that's normally a snapped pivot. But I got away with it. I had it on a microscope, couldn't see anything. So I took it out again and just resit it. It just had to sit in that post, because you do knit them up quite tight, but that has to be, that has to be completely free. So it has to be in the jewel holes. This is always a dodgy bit, because after this job it's the balance wheel. This is, and you try not to think about it. But I'll need probably to wind in, which I'll do shortly. But yeah, I've took it out again. Look, I probably went off and checked down the microscope at that point because they normally you actually feel them and hear them snap. I think I broke two, but hey ho. So the balance wheel's in now, and it does run. Watch in a minute. I do get it running, but that in real life is really, really slow, and it's barely running. So I'm struggling a bit here. So I take the balance wheel off, and you can I see the problem straight away. If you look to the left, where the mainspring is secured, you've got that pin on your left hand side, and you've got a bit of an extension just there. Well, that was bent a lot more. That was bent another 45 degrees, 30, 40 degrees, and that was touching the mainspring there, and it was pushing it all over. And as I was adjusting it got even worse because that does move to set the your rate, your beta. So all I did on there, I just bent it out. I got it with tweezers and just bent it the opposite way, and that you can see the rest of it looks fine. There's good symmetry between the coils. All got demagnetized, and there she is. What you can see there, I tried to film this. It was very hard to film with any quality. That's the pallet stone, and that triangle is the little like circlet what holds it all down. And what I have to do, you've got two jewels here. The one with the silver ring on it's got a hole in it, and the pivot goes through there. And the top one, it's a plain one, it's just a cap, and it's ruby. And what you have to do, you have to clean them off, and they get marks on them. You see it. You see them. It's normally old oil, so you have to do it. I always scrape it off and then soak it in some cleaner. I've got several different types, and then put a little spot of oil on it, stick it together, put it in, and then secure it with that brass clip holder. Now you go on Weekend Watch Repair or the other channels I watch, and they do it in seconds. But as soon as I touch it with oil, as soon as I touch put a drop of oil on it, and it is a drop, tiny drop, it just picks it up, and it's just wraps around my tweezers. It wraps around that's a jewel stick, so it's got a slightly sticky end, and it's a gift. It really is a fantastic bit of kit for doing very small light work. So I've got the ruby and that lubed in, and what I'm trying to do now is put that little brass clip in, and then you sort of twist it. It's a bit like putting a light bulb in, the old-fashioned light bulb with two pins. You push it down, turn it, but there's three, and you have to line them all up, and it's fiddly as hell. But I used to struggle with it, less so now. You've just got to be aware you can lose them. The amount of jewels and that brass clip I've lost is phenomenal, really. Okay, we're on dial side now. I've got my cameras a little bit better on this one. I'm still going to suffer from back of head syndrome, but there's always something wrong with my videos. This is the dial bit. This was quite recent, whereas some of the earlier stuff was some time ago. I'm just building up all the dial side, and that's where that part goes, by the way, on that side. So it's cleaning it, oiling it. You're putting the date. I always threw me how dates work. I knew how they worked, but how they fitted in with the mechanics of a watch. But it's more you do it, more sense it becomes. But you have to respect the people who designed it in the first place. They're very clever people. Although, like anything else, it evolves. So I'm putting the drive chain in, which will be the cannon pinion, the hour wheel, minute wheel, the intermediate drive, and the date change. And then I'll stick the date plate in first. That's the big one, and then the day. What I'm doing here, this is a very thin plate. This holds it all down. I shouldn't be putting this in yet. I should put the date discs in. I'm sure I I'm sure I will realise that very soon. Sorry if this chair's squeaking. I bought myself a gaming chair. I spent a lot of time here, so I need to be comfortable. So it's a big plush leather. It looks like a chair out of a sports car, but it obviously creaks when it moves, but it's very comfortable. So again, more investment in the room. So the day disc is going on now, and then you put that plate on. Once I figured that, it came to me. It's just, I mean, the last watch I did was the new one. So it's been a couple of months since I've done it, and it's a no-brainer. It's like, oh bugger, and just swap it around. But I wish I had more shots of from the overhead, but my bloody because I knew I had some problems. I did adjust because I've got a new camera map. Thought it was that. And when I realised it wasn't, I couldn't think why, and then it clicked. So yeah, I don't need strong magnification at this point. It's just general, just sort of reading glasses, strength only. But because it was, and I thought it was an expensive set, I thought, oh, wow, this is great, and I just had my head closer. Unfortunately, the camera overhead got it, so I've cut out most of the back of my head or the back of my my new visor. So yeah, again, I'm in. I made a mistake with the day one as well, which I'll come to later. This goes in fine. I don't know. I like the date drive. I think it's complicated, and when you do it, which is quite easy, you just follow the steps. You always feel like a great sense of achievement. You always think, ooh, I like that, and yet you just put it back together. But I still like it. Very tiny screws here. Again, I don't mind tiny. It's like when I did the jewels on the balance wheel. I like it because you sort of disappear into that world. You like drop down into a quantum world where everything's small and you like Ant-Man. And it's not as hard as you might think if you've got the right head on, if you concentrate it. Right. Anyway, where are we? So that's the day. Not much trouble with that. Just putting that there's another one of those tiny screws. I mean, the whole length of that screw is probably 2 millimeters, and that includes from the top of the head. I mean, new screwdrivers have got a big broad body. The idea is you have more control. I haven't won me over yet. I did most of this on my old set. You get used to things as well, don't you? But once you've got a grip and you're there, it's better you get tight. You can get the torque in and you're more stable. But that initial bit where there's no thread and you're just standing upright, I don't know. I think they're a bit heavy and I'm struggling. So that's the adjust, and then you've got two adjustments: the adjustment to set it, and then your normal 24-hour one. See that black wheel at the 11 o'clock position. See how that turns? And that turns once every 24 hours. And when you put your watch back together, you set that mechanically at midnight. So you turn it as soon as that date turns one. Your watch is at midnight, and you put your hands on, which I do that later. Just put the day wheel on, and I couldn't get it. It wasn't turning, and then I did it, and it was turning constantly. And that one was easy. That I put the clip on wrong, and it was too tight. It was just turning with the cam pinion, so that one was straightforward. But I'd missed a part off. I missed one of those plastic wheels. I completely missed it out. It was sat looking at me in tray, and I thought, so I ended up putting it in. It did take me a couple of attempts to figure it out. So I'm just putting it in there. You just saw it on my tweezers, and then that's a little C clip, which that's back of my head. And once that's clipped down, there you go. Look, that's beautiful. It's quite a clever dial. No, they've got 14 teeth on the back of that. And it goes like two in one go. So they were clever. They utilised the disc and put two languages on there. So one's always English, and then you can get Arabic, Japanese, well, you can get anything. Probably even do one for French people, but I don't know. Who knows? But the again, simple idea. It just turns two at a time, and you set it on what you want, which language you prefer, and so it's a good way of using that up. Again, it's just Seiko efficiency. That's I suppose that essence runs through the whole watch with all of it, where they do things a little bit different but efficiently. Okay, there's the dial. For some reason, I keep putting that dial up there, but I'm getting ready for the dial now. The watch is not running now, by the way. I've let it run down because when I put the hands on, I don't like it running because you tend to rush because you need to sync them. And I don't rush it. You'll see me in a moment do that. So the dial's in good nick. I've just got some Radico, which is a bit like non-residue blue tack. Just picked any debris, dust, hairs, and so on. So I'm all getting ready for the dodgy bit, the hands. This is where my mount comes in. That was in their retreat, and that does keep it nice and level. And I'll use my machine, and apologies, you ain't got a very good shot of it, but I thought you would have done. But what I'm going to do first is just going to clean the hands. Everybody's got that anvil there. It's really cheap and it's just so handy. And it always makes me smile when you watch these videos of all sorts of people of all sorts of skill levels. They've all got that anvil, and because it's the same reason I did. It's a nice bit of kit, and it's £7 or something like that. And that's not from China. That's from the UK. So it's gold, obviously, and what I'm going to do, I'm trying to sit it in there, sit it in the hole, make it flush. I just want to give them a wipe. I've got some metal polish, some jewellery metal polish. It's a bit like Brasso, like in cotton sheets. It's really good stuff, actually. And I just give that a brush and a wipe. It cleans them, but it started to take the loom off one of them, which was a bit annoying. Don't know, jury's out yet. I've got loads of hands. I buy when I put an order in for AliExpress, the Chinese place. I'll always buy a couple of straps or a couple of sets of hands or a couple of date dials because it's less than £5, and you may as well while you're there. So I may. There's a guy at work, Peter. Hello, Peter. He's thinking about buying this watch. He wants a good watch. He's a senior gentleman like myself, and he appreciates the finer things in life. So this could be for him. So if I am selling it to someone else, I will put new hands on. Although it might not, Peter being a traditional type of man, he might not want it. He might like the patina, what he calls it, patina. We'll see. We're coming up to the time. And I must admit, this side didn't go too bad. I normally struggle with the hands, but I've got a very posh tool. Incidentally, this tool I've got, which you'll see in a moment, I paid, probably cost all in all with tax and import. I'd say £70. That's a rough guess for exactly the same thing. Looking wise, I'm sure it's a bit better on quality, but the exactly the same thing for a Swiss watch manufacturer. It's £1,400, and you wouldn't tell them apart from the sticker on the front. It's £1,400 against £70, and I get it. It's not be as good quality, but £1,200 worth of quality, no. But anyway, so what I'm doing now, I'm mechanically setting the watch there. Look, I'm turning the center dial. It's coming up on midnight now. So when that clicks there, I know that watch is midnight. So I will put the hour hand for the moment, the short one. That gets stuck on there. There's my machine. It's not the best view. And basically it's a steady press. What keeps your watch dial nice and square for you to press down. You've got 4 pen-like features. Spring-loaded, and you set it up, and they'd snap into the centre, so the centre of the pen is centre of that disc there, and they push down. You press your hands on there, and it sets them squared even. Because if they're not even, at some points they'll miss your dial, and some points they can actually hit it, or your fingers can strike, your hands can strike as they turn around. So I put it on there, select which one I want, and then just simply press down. Very nice bit of kit, well worth its money. And then you just turn it, and you just observe, make sure it's parallel with the dial. It's missing any of the integers or the badge, the Seiko badge. And then you just set it to an hour, any hour. It could be when you send them in a hand, because you're just syncing those together. Most people do it at midnight, but it's just convenient for me then there to stick it there, because then it will go. You set the ratio of your minute hand to your hour hand. So when your hour hand goes, when your minute hand goes round once, the hour hand has gone round just for 1 hour. There's obviously a famous ratio for that. Actually, it's fascinating how they work it out. The ratios of time and gears for 24 hours. But there you go. I won't go into that because I don't know. I don't know the numbers. I forgot. Same old. You can see that loom and all that's come away from the minute hand. Broke down a little bit. Bugger really irritated the hell out of me. So it's just time for the second hands now. The second hand, you don't really care what's that pointed on. So all I'm doing there, I'm putting some wind in there because I want to see it running. To me, it's advantageous when you put the minute hand to get it, because it's so light and you've got a very short pipe on your second hand to fit down that centerpiece. And you can very easily go down the side of it and it not drive the second hand. You don't want to push it on if it's not lined up, because it will snap. And I have snapped one. Seiko, I've already filmed snap. I had to get a new wheel. So this is the tiniest, delicatest, lightest thing, and it's just, you should say, it's got a short stem, maybe a millimetre. It's called the pipe, and that's to fit on your centre wheel pivot. And you've got to be careful. Be careful. But I'm not doing it. Yeah, I got it there. Once it's on, I just secure it with a manual press, just so it don't fall off in transit to the hand press here. Just lining that up, make sure it's in centre, and then you just push down. It's a bit like a keys on a trombone sort of thing, where you push down with your fingers. A bit something that reminds me of that. It's probably not 100% low there or something, so I'm just making a slight adjustment, and then we're off to the case. I quite like it. Case standard Seiko 5, top quality. It's just a bit old and shitty. The crystal's fine, and it's got I did think about changing it, just putting a new one on, just for the experience. But it's got a little hologrammatic 5 on the inside at the 6 o'clock position, and that they're quite desirable to have. So I didn't want to change that. Got the watch back. That's scratched now. This is after it's all been polished, and this is the proof of the pudding. I do like this bit. So you'll see, and this, if I remember rightly, yes, this is, I've already been here, but if you look at that amplitude, 279 degrees, 282, any more than that, it'd be going all the way around. I've never done a watch with that much amplitude, so I know that's everybody else does. That's running okay. Minus 7 seconds. I'm not bothered about that. That will go up up and down as your watch moves around different positions. The beat error, the tick-tock, 0. That is figures any watchmaker in the world would smile about, especially Seiko's, because normally amplitude are quite low or a little bit lower. That's gone down now. I'm just putting the watch in different positions: up, down, left, right, and so on. Dial up, dial down. just to get a bit of an average. And if you average out over your 4 positions, face up, face down, it's about 2 seconds plus. But that's it. I've got a black strap on. I'll probably change that. It's a bit plain. Black surface. It keeps excellent time. It's behind me now. It's running. It's exact. The time is exact, and it was today's Friday, and I put it. This was done on Tuesday, Wednesday. So more than happy. I hope Peter was it too. I polished that and get it a brush finish. Got it polished the case, and again, it's another one done. And as I say, this has come back from the dead. It was in the pile. I didn't think it would run again. I'm going to change them hands. They look a bit poo. But yeah, it's just another beautiful watch. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.